create a file upload API for the AWS S3 service. We already have this downloading API, and now we're going to create a uploading API. So for upload, we can use a post mapping, and then we use the same URL/file, and then here we're going to have a public. Let's just return the file's ID, and then we can call the method upload file. Upload the file, and then here we have to take a user input from the client, from the HTTP request. So we can use two ways. One is directly use HTTP servlet request, okay, like the one we did for the downloading. We can directly read the input stream from it, and then pass the stream data to the S3. Or we can use the multi-part file. So there is a class called the multi-part file. Okay, and we can just use this to cache the user upload. Okay, so here we need an annotation called the request param. So this to indicate this is going to be in the body of our HTTP post request. Okay, and then we can give a name, okay, file. If you don't, you want to use a different name, then you have to put their file there. Okay, and then here we need to firstly generate a file ID, because we don't want to use the file name as the last time we see. The file name could be duplicate. If it's duplicate, then in the S3 the file will be overridden. Okay, maybe different user upload the same file name but different file content. In that case, it's gonna have conflict. So let's just use this UUID class. It's a Java util package, and we can just randomly create a UUID. Okay, so then this is gonna be our key, okay, of the file, and we can just put here key, and then we're gonna create a S3 service, and it will take our request, okay, file, multi-part file, and then we're gonna pass the key. Okay, so let's just use key first, and then file. Okay, we can call the method or as upload, okay, file, and then key, and then our file itself. Okay, and then we can in the end just return this key. Okay, so because it's the ID, we can just return the ID there. And the upload file method don't need to return anything. Let's just keep it like that. Then we go to the implementation class, and Alt Enter and implement this method. We already have the S3 client, so we just simply copy the code from the website of AWS SDK, okay, S3 example, and then for JavaScript, no, okay, this will be for Java. For Java, let's just search Java. Okay, here, and then we can go ahead and then find the S3 create list, perform object object, and then upload an object. Okay, and then here's the code. Okay, so we need to use S3 client builder to build a client, and then put object. Okay, so this is the problem. This one is the old version. Okay, so version 1.0. This SDK we are using is 2.0, 2.1. I think yesterday we already see 2.18. This is our SDK version. Okay, so I already said many times, so if you watch the wrong tutorial, okay, so then this code won't work, because the put object, it takes a bucket name key, and this method is no longer there. Okay, if you can put here, it won't work. Okay, S3 client, S3 client. Okay, I put there, and this put object method is there, but it doesn't have this overriding method. Okay, overriding method. If you look at it, okay, you can see it only takes those objects, no strings. So this is the error. Okay, just go select this one. Okay, so this is the one. I'm not going to delete this part, because this is a common mistake. If we refer to the document, make sure you're referring to the correct document. Okay. create a bucket and delete, get everything, list, set, upload object. Okay, so here this is the code, and put S3. Okay, this is the put object, and then we can just copy this part. Okay, here I'll just put it here, and then S3 client will be here. Oops, not S3 client here. Okay, and this we don't need it anymore. This cloud import, and then bucket. Okay, it's not there yet. Key. Okay, metadata, which is here. Okay, so Amazon Meta my value test. So we don't need a metadata in this case, okay, because it's for test purpose. Object response, then we don't need it. Okay, so we just upload it, and the request body form byte. Let's, because this is gonna be the file itself, so we should have a from input stream. Okay, so use this one. If you want to download the file in the on the hard drive, we can use from file. Okay, this one. So this is we're gonna from input stream. And where's our input stream? Okay, so the input stream will be in the request. Okay, so request dot get input stream. Okay, so this is the multi-part file input stream. And we have to give a signature with exceptions. Okay, so this one, copy this, put it to, oh, it's already added. Okay, that's good. From input stream, it gives error saying that it takes 2 parameters, but we get only 1. Okay, so this from input stream, it takes 2. The second parameter is the length of the stream, so we can just pass the length. Request dot get size. Okay, so bucket, we don't have the bucket because previously we passed the bucket, okay, from the controller, and we get the bucket in the controller. Now let's just change it, okay, to put it into the service layer. Okay, so that is makes more sense, and then we don't need the bucket in the download. Okay, so we all use the same bucket, so we don't need the controller to know which bucket. Okay, so we always let the service maintain this, and then go to this here, and then the bucket is here, key, and everything looks okay. Upload file method is implemented, and it throws exception, so we need to handle the exception. Okay, so throws IO exception. With here we can just add a exception handler, okay, to make the API more user friendly if anything is wrong. Okay, because we already talked about this in the REST API session, so we just leave it here like this. All right, now let's take a look. Okay, so the overall flow is the user send a HTTP post request to /file with a body of our file, and then this file will be uploaded, okay, using the S3 service with a random generated key. Okay, and then we create a submission request, okay, or put a request of the new file, and then submit it to the bucket, to the key, and then with the body of our file. Okay, so very simple, and we can restart the server. Make sure the IAM secret is an active, okay, and then the server is up, and we can use Postman, okay, Postman to send the request. Post, and then localhost 8080/file. So the body here, we need to upload a file, so we can use very different kind of way, but if you choose a raw and then choose a binary, right, there's kind of select the file, but this file will be the file itself without a name. Okay, so the Spring won't take it. The best way is to use the form data, and then here we give a key, which is the parameter's name. Okay, so that's the name, same as it is here. Okay, we take a parameter in the body, name is a file, okay, and then the value, okay, we here is just to be careful, this here will have this drop down. You only if you put the mouse here, it will show, okay, and then select file. Okay, then here we can select the file we want to upload. Okay, so we can I have a cat. Okay, I have this picture, and then we select. Okay, so now if I click on send, what's gonna happen is the postman will send a post request to this API using this body with a file as the name of the file cat here. Okay, so this is the value. Value is a file, name is a cat. And also this field has a name, okay, which is a file. So this one will get the file and save all the information of the cat image in this object. Okay, and then we pass this object to the upload. Okay, so we can now send, and then we get this ID. This is the UUID automatically generated, okay, from the S3. And now if we go to our S3 bucket, okay, we'll see this is the ID, okay, 26EE. If you look at here, 26EE, right? So this is the bucket file. You can see this file is no longer have the information of the name of the type, right? Because we didn't pass anything related to it. So now if the user try to download this one, okay, let's just use this ID, and then we just have a get. Let's just duplicate the tab, change it to get, nobody. Okay, and then slash file's name. Okay, so then we send, and now you can see we can get the picture, right? Or we can just put it in the browser. So same thing. So the process is, we use the previous get API to get the file, okay, from here. So the advantage of using this UUID is if I upload another file, okay, maybe it's the same name, right? Maybe different content, but now if I send it again, okay, we're gonna get a different ID. And in our S3 bucket, we'll have two files now. Okay, you can think of like two users, different users, even though their file name are the same, but they are gonna have different IDs. So whenever you want, you can just choose the correct one to download. Okay, but here's the thing: how the user know which ID the user need to download? Okay, so there's a gap between the middle. Like after the user uploads the file, then we give the ID of the file, but the user cannot keep track of this ID. Okay, so there would be other APIs and other mechanisms to make sure that our uploaded file are well tracked. Okay, so like when we upload the file, here we have to add some more code. Okay, so after S3 is there. Okay, so then we need to save those information, okay, metadata, into our database. Okay, so we can have a table, for example, like a file table. And then in the file table, we have the file ID, okay, which is going to be the key, right? And here. And also we can just have a separate, like, because the database need a primary key. Okay, so the file ID could be the primary key. And then we can have the key of the file, and then the bucket of the file. And also we're going to have the real name of the file. Okay, what's the real name of it? So the real name can get it from this request. Okay, so if we do request dot get name, okay, or get original file name, then you can get the file's name. Okay, that's the name. We can save it here, and also we can save the created time. Okay, created by, those information could be there. Okay, so that next time we can create a new API to let the user query to search, like created by which user and what's the real name, and we can list all the files to the user, and then the user click on one of them, then we can query what kind of key it is in the database, then we return. Okay, so that's the whole process. Hopefully I explained this well. So this upload is just a very simple technical proof of concept, but in the reality is we still need to add more information to our database so that we can query the uploaded files by their name, by their owner, right, or even by the created time, or maybe you can have something like type. Okay, those kind of information could be saved in our local or not local, sorry, that's our own database, right? We already have the RDS set up there, and so that we can make the whole system more complete. Okay, but this is just a demonstration of upload file and download file from S3 it only. Okay, so it's not a complete API, but you get the idea, combining with the previous knowledge. So we can use Spring Data, and we can save, we can create the table, we can add the records to the table. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much all the whole process. All right, thanks.